Stop everything you're doing. Forget your coffee, forget your emails. Forget your boss yelling at you about deadlines, because the MMA universe just detonated like a grenade in a fireworks factory. And at the center of the explosion, Cris Cyborg, the woman whose fists have rewritten careers. Stepping up and screaming yes. Screaming at Dakota Ditcheva with a threat so brutal it makes WWE trash talk sound like Sesame Street sing-alongs. Cyborg didn't just say she'd beat Dakota. Oh no, she cranked it up to nuclear levels. I'll break your hype, Dakota. B*TCH. I'll kill you. That's not hype. That's not promotion. That's an actual verbal sledgehammer. Swung by one of the scariest fighters alive. And Dakota. She's not blinking. She's not backing down. She's standing there like a marble statue carved by Zeus himself, daring Cyborg to follow through. This isn't just beef. This is a gladiator-level, ego-shattering, career-threatening collision. Course that makes the Kardashians' petty Instagram battles look like two toddlers fighting over Legos. Grab your popcorn, your stress ball, and maybe even your therapist, because by the end of this saga, they'll be questioning not just who wins, but who survives. Every so often, combat sports deliver a rivalry so unhinged, so combustible that it turns into more than a fight, becomes an earthquake. That's exactly what just erupted when Cris Cyborg, a legend who has broken bones, egos, and entire promotional companies with her presence, turned her fire toward Dakota Ditcheva. Let's set the stage. Dakota Ditcheva, the blonde savage, has been on a meteoric rise, undefeated, unstoppable, and carrying the aura of next big thing. She's the fighter who walks into a cage like she owns the building, and lately, it's been racking up hype faster than Jake Paul racks up lawsuits. But hype is dangerous. Hype invites jealousy. Hype paints a target on your back, and nobody in MMA knows how to destroy hype quite like Cris Cyborg. This is the woman who crushed Gina Carano, bullied Julia Budd, and sent opponents into early retirement with punches so hard they should have been classified as natural disasters. So when Cyborg came out with the volcanic threat, "I'll break your hype, Dakota. B*TCH. I'll kill you," the MMA world didn't gasp, it screamed. Because this wasn't just trash talk. This was a death sentence, wrapped in syllables and delivered with the confidence of someone who's already buried careers deeper than Atlantis. The first reactions were chaos. Fans exploded like shaken soda cans. One tweet went viral with the caption, "Pray for Dakota. Cyborg doesn't do threats, she does obituaries." Another fan wrote, "Imagine waking up to Cris Cyborg saying she'll kill you. I'd move countries." But here's where it gets delicious. Dakota didn't flinch. No fear, no stuttering. No apology tour. Instead, she stared straight into the storm and basically said, "Bring it. I'm ready." This response split the internet in half. On one side, you had the Cyborg army laughing hysterically at Dakota's confidence, calling her delusional, naive, and next in line for a headstone. On the other side, you had Ditcheva loyalists hyping her up as the chosen one, the woman destined to finally topple the unbreakable Cyborg empire. Suddenly, this wasn't just a potential fight, it was a culture war. Old school versus new school, veteran versus rising star, destroyer versus dreamer, and everyone knew something ugly, loud, and unforgettable was about to go down when words like, "I'll kill you," enter the MMA lexicon. It doesn't stay in the fight world, it leaks into pop culture like radioactive fallout. And this threat, it went viral faster than a cat meme on TikTok. Celebrities couldn't resist jumping in. Conor McGregor, the king of trash talk himself, tweeted, "Now that's how you sell a fight." Of course, he deleted it an hour Later, but not before screenshots made the rounds. Jake Paul, never one to miss a headline, posted on Instagram, Dakota vs. Cyborg. Put it on Netflix, I'll watch. Even Shaquille O'Neal, yes Shaq, chimed in on a podcast, saying, Dakota got guts, Cyborg got hands. This ain't a fight. This is a documentary waiting to happen. And the memes. Good Lord, the memes. One viral post showed Dakota edited as Simba from The Lion King, standing bravely on Pride Rock, while Cyborg loomed as Scar, snarling, run away and never return. Another had Cyborg's face photoshopped onto the Grim Reaper, knocking on doors labeled with the names of fighters she's destroyed. Carano Bud, Kawinanand, the next door. Ditcheva. Fans started creating hashtags, like hashtag Pray for Dakota, hashtag Cyborg via Savage, and my personal favorite, hashtag Obituary Pending. TikTok was flooded with edits of Dakota training in slow motion, set to dramatic music, with captions like, training for her funeral or for her legacy. But beneath the comedy, the outrage simmered. Critics slammed Cyborg for crossing a line, saying, I'll kill you wasn't just trash talk, it was a threat that could tarnish the sport's reputation. ESPN talking heads debated it like it was a presidential scandal. One analyst said, if Dana White doesn't book this fight tomorrow, he's missing the biggest pay-per-view since McGregor vs. Khabib. Meanwhile, Dakota leaned into the chaos. She posted a cryptic Instagram story. Just a lion emoji, a crown emoji, and the caption, Savages don't fold. Fans went berserk. Her confidence wasn't just unshaken, it was amplified. And now the narrative wasn't just about Cyborg's threat, it was about Dakota's refusal to bow down. Suddenly, this wasn't just a fight people wanted to see. It was a fight they needed to see. The internet turned it into a movement, a must-watch saga. A collision that had to happen, or else the universe itself would feel incomplete. Now, here's where things get truly brutal, not in the cage, but in the aftermath of Cyborg's words detonating across the MMA galaxy. First, reputations. Cris Cyborg has always been known as terrifying, but this threat pushed her image into new territory. To some, she's now the ultimate villain, the Darth Vader of women's MMA, looming over the division with menace. To others, she's the truth teller, the executioner ready to expose Dakota as just another hype job destined to crash and burn. Dakota Ditcheva, on the other hand, transformed overnight. She went from rising prospect to warrior queen in the eyes of her fans. Refusing to flinch under Cyborg's words made her look fearless, maybe even reckless, but undeniably magnetic. For young fans, she became a symbol, the underdog brave enough to stare down the boogeyman and laugh. Then came the business consequences. Promoters smelled blood in the water. Bellator, PFL, UFC. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of this feud. Whispers of million-dollar paydays and blockbuster cards started flying. One insider leaked that pay-per-view projections for a potential Cyborg vs. Ditcheva fight were astronomical. But the real fallout was cultural talk shows debated whether trash talk had gone too far. Parents complained that MMA was sending the wrong message to kids. Twitter philosophers wrote threads comparing Cyborg's threat to ancient gladiator taunts. It became bigger than sport. It became a morality play. And then, the ultimate cliffhanger. Dakota doubled down. She went on live TV and said, Cyborg wants to kill me. She better bring an army, because I don't die easily. That one line set the internet ablaze all over again. Fans screamed. Analysts fainted. Cyborg reportedly laughed and said, perfect, I'll bring 2 armies. Now the whole world waits. The hype train has no brakes, the threats have no filter, and the showdown feels inevitable. Whether this ends in triumph, tragedy, or the wildest fight of the decade, one thing's for sure. Nobody will ever forget the day Cris Cyborg told Dakota she'd kill her. And there you have it, the verbal earthquake that shook the MMD world. Cris Cyborg versus Dakota, a rivalry so toxic, so unfiltered. It makes every other feud look like a high school pillow fight. Cyborg didn't just call her out, she declared war, promising to break Dakota's hype and bury her legacy 6 feet deep. But Dakota? Oh, she's not running. She's not hiding. She's walking straight into the fire with the kind of confidence that either builds legends or writes obituaries. Now, it's your turn. Drop your wildest predictions in the comments. Does Dakota actually have a shot at surviving the Cyborg storm? Or is she about to become the next name carved into cyborgs? List of casualties. Smash that like button like it just disrespected you in front of your friends. Subscribe to Boxing Room, where scandals don't just get reported, they get roasted, dissected, and served hotter than McDonald's coffee. And don't forget to hit that notification bell like it owes you rent, because in this circus we call combat sports, scandals don't sleep, and neither do we. Stay tuned, because if this fight happens, it won't just be another cardiddle, be a historical massacre. And if it doesn't, don't worry, another scandal is already brewing, ready to crash into your feed like a runaway train. This is Boxing Room, signing out, reminding you, in MMA, hype builds kingdoms, but one threat from Cris Cyborg can burn them all down.